So yes, today we are going to discuss ego and attachment. So I am a mental health professional as well as a Reiki master, intuitive healer, really a multi-dimensional guide, if you will. I know a lot of other healers who are coming to understand this term more because our gifts are being just opened up even wider every day as the collective energy or just the world's energy is pretty intense. It has been intense, as we all know. So that's the first thing I just wanted to say, that as there are darker or denser times in our life, it also gives us the opportunity to transform and transmute and become more of who we want to be or who we're called to be. So, that is what kind of prompted me into today. I'm not going to go deep into my own story, but just to share a little bit of context around this in ego and attachment. There's a lot out right now. I'm seeing just in social media in general, discussing ego, discussing just a lot of different words in mental health that I think, there can sometimes be a little bit more education or context needed around these things. A lot of differing views. And for that, I will say that if you don't particularly agree with my point of view on something, that's perfectly okay. As I always say, with any of my guided meditations or anything that I teach, take what you like, leave the rest. If it doesn't resonate, that's fine. But I just show up and I present what I've been given. So mental health in and of itself is a sliding scale. We all have a certain degree of depression. We all have a certain degree of anxiety that we find when things happen in life. If we have a loss, we experience some of that depression around that, and grief. Or when we lose not only just a physical person in our life, but also different aspects of our life, which is a whole other topic that I won't delve into. But grief and loss, that and depression, there's clinical depression, obviously, and that is, where things as far as the brain chemistry goes, and can sometimes need medications to balance out. I am a person who believes in holistic medicine, but I also believe in mental health, and I believe that medicines have a place in our society. I just don't believe in being over medicated, and I don't believe that, going strictly to that as your one solution is going to actually solve anything. So I do believe in a combination. I myself have had to take antidepressants in the past. And, I don't know, but again, no shame or judgment on anyone who needs to take medications. And that's the first thing that I just wanted to say, that I feel like some of the wording around the spiritual communities is like, if you have to take medications, then you're not woke enough, or that there's something inherently wrong with you, which is absolutely false. This, again, is my belief. I believe that, taking a medication doesn't make you less than, and that idea needs to be smashed, because medications get us to a different place, and they do have a place. Again, over dependence on anything. I am a recovering addict, and I've, abused prescription medication. So, over abuse on anything is not healthy either, including, some of our medicinal things that are out here. With that being said, in the spiritual community, there are a lot of people that, self-medicate with, marijuana, with LSD, with other plant medicines, so just be cautious to all of this, and be cautious of what you're hearing, and always discern with your own spirit what's meant for you. I think that cacao ceremonies are beautiful. I think that when you are held in the right space, I know people who have incredible experiences with this. So there's a place for psychedelics as well in this world. There's a place for marijuana in this world, and medicinal marijuana especially helps my husband every day. So I'm certainly a person who, as you can see, right, I have a lot of I'm what I call a bridge between the two worlds, between the spiritual and the physical. And sometimes that's very taxing on my physical because, helping people to understand and bridge the gaps between mental health and, what you need. That's part of my passion though, too, and what I help to educate in and assist people with in my day-to-day work as a therapist. So anyways, so today's topic is about ego and attachment again. And so ego's a sliding scale as well. So we have the very, over here, we'll just call this the lower end of the ego, this underdeveloped ego, where there's a lack of self-confidence, self-esteem. There's a lack of a knowingness about self. And this underdeveloped type then becomes very codependent, becomes very needy on others, and can turn into the victim. So again, sliding scale, we see some of this, maybe I have a little low self-esteem or self-worth, and then you just continue. So I've definitely been on this end of the scale. I was on this end of the scale for a very long time, especially in the depths of my addiction. But we also have the other end of the scale, which is over independent, over confident, feels like they don't need anything, that they don't have to depend on anyone. And this side is the narcissist, is the word that we hear for a lot of times. Now, what happens in society is that we get this scale, and then this side feels like that they're fighting this side, right? Really, we are both sides. We are the narcissist and the victim. We've played both of these roles in our life. And I've played the narcissist, and I've been over dependent and overconfident. They call recovering addicts egomaniacs with low self-esteem. Like, we're literally this crazy dial that goes back and forth trying to figure out how to get our needs met. So that's what I really want to express today too, that this is all about getting your needs met in the best way possible. And most of these character developments come from early childhood and development. And so the narcissist becomes one who learns that they can't depend on anybody and they have to do everything themselves. And they just learn that in the world, it isn't safe to attach to people or to have relationships or to be safe, because really the messaging then is, they're just going to let me down. I have to do it anyways. And over time, they get angry, they get resentful. And, so much of this wounding just builds up into this wall that they then become a person who goes out into the world and operates in this wounding, but I just really want to take away some of the power that we put into these words and to these labels. Again, with the depression and anxiety, right? Like we all have it to a degree. It's the same thing with the narcissist and the victim. And it's all about how we operate in the world, and getting our needs met, which has been a big learning curve for me, especially over the last 2 years. I had to heal around this particular wounding within myself, this place within myself where I didn't really understand why I kept attracting narcissists in my life, but it was a need in me that I was needing to fulfill. And until I figured out how to heal that narcissistic wound within me, I was going to continue to attract narcissists in my life. I'm not saying that this was easy work, right? So essentially a lot of inner child work, a lot of core wound healing, and things that I had to go in and be very intentional about and start becoming my own parent. I had to start loving myself at this very core knowingness of me, because being the codependent as well and constantly needing and seeking others led me to feel victimized when other people didn't meet my needs. And I was constantly overworking my friendships. I didn't have balanced friendships. I didn't have balanced relationships or partnerships. Even those narcissistic, they feel very, worn out by the victim, right? They feel very worn out because even though it doesn't seem like on the surface that they care or that they have that, they, I do know that underneath, right, like they have things that they want. They just have masked it so much that it comes out as pain, and it comes out as defensiveness, and that hyper independence, like we were talking about. So this also speaks to, and I just was kind of speaking into it, but attachment. And so if you have never looked into your attachment style, I honestly hadn't really dove deep into attachment until, it was around last year this time, but really in June or July of last year when I went into private practice, I really got intentional about attachment styles because it makes all of the difference in not only our relationships in this codependency or the over independent person, but also in our own interpersonal relationship with ourselves, right? So like I used to be what is called a fearful, anxious, avoidant. So what would happen with me in my attachment style is that I had a lot of fear, a lot of distrust, and a lot of anxiety. That's the scale that I was on. Depression over here. Typically, I said I've had some depression, but I really ran on the anxious side. Anxiety and fear ran my day every day. I woke up, and I tell people now that I literally, would put on fear and anxiety as like this cloak of armor to go out into the world, because as a person who is empathic, AKA the codependent, AKA the one who has this overattached style, we developed our empathy and this great need to understand the world around us with our oversensitivity, because we felt that that was safe. Just like the narcissist shuts all of that down, feeling that it's safer not to attach to their emotions. So you can see why then we struggle back and forth between these two, and why there's so much conflict between these two, and how we end up being in the middle of this tug of war that really is reflecting to us an inner knowingness that we have to go into, right? But without the right tools and without the right support, that can be very scary. So obviously therapy is a great recommendation. Of course, I'm a therapist, but even, seeing a healer and doing work or working with a coach, if you're called to that. I've done some programs. There's a lot of information out there. What I'll tell you is, and one of the people that I really respect is Teal Swan, and she does a whole lot around this, around self-love. She has great videos about the narcissist and really what that really means, right? And taking away some of the wording around this so we have a better understanding. But there's other people out there too. So I just encourage you to do your research, encourage you to, look deeper into these things. And also, most importantly, to go within with all of it. So also, so back to the attachment style, right? So in the middle is what we call the secure attachment. This is the world of balance, where we can trust others, where we can allow others to trust us, where we feel like we can trust our inner knowingness and our intuition, that we can actually trust our own inner guidance. And because I had been in this very over need or of others, and then overly trying to be overly independent and going back and forth, right, then I was either very fearful and running on that, or I would go into depression when other people didn't meet my needs, and I was very dependent on other people to love me, because I thought that is how the world operated. And again, this stuff just comes from early childhood and my own perceptions of reality. My brother and my sister are very different than I am, and we've just operated in the world differently. My step siblings, they're very different than I am, right? So we all just have our own reality. So again, just taking away some of the power that we've given these situations, these labels, and just saying, okay, here's the reality. Maybe I've operated in this, but how do I work on codependency? I'll give you a couple, Codependent No More is a great book. Working on your boundaries. There's a lot of good work out there for that, but anything that you can do to empower yourself, and to learn about your abilities, which is again why I like working with a healer too, to actually understand what empathy means, what being an intuitive means, guarding and guiding your energy, understanding what is your energy versus what is collective energy. Like there's so much in this that I'm just giving you a little taste so that you can understand that, it's possible though. I've not, it's not like I master these things every day is my point, right? Like we are in a place of self-mastery in this world. And for those who are choosing to do this work, we get to choose it every day. And we choose self-mastery, meaning I just go inwards every day and try to apply these things to my life so that therefore I can help others in the best way possible. So, in this too, with the ego and the attachment, and one thing I know, this is the last part I'm going to share about this before we get into the meditation, is that a lot of times there's a lot of, again, with the codependent narcissists, there's a lot of different ways that this can play out in the world. There's a lot of blame shift that goes on then, and not taking responsibility over your life or over your actions. Again, I have done it. I had a lot of people in my life that I blamed for the way that I was, and I just didn't understand how to take responsibility or how to take action in my life. I'm very grateful that I, have done a lot of inner work and inner healing. So as far as this goes too, what is really playing out is there's a cycle of limiting beliefs oftentimes in our life when we aren't really attaching or getting the things that we want. So that's what's interesting. I didn't understand this. I didn't understand that, okay, how come I want these things in life, but that, somehow I'm not, getting it. And then it would turn into the victim again, and I would turn it into a story, and I would be frustrated and upset. And that's any area of my life, including weight loss or career, finances, and I've been doing a lot of inner work around these limiting beliefs. So I'm putting that in here to tell you that I have been doing some incredible work with people recently. This is a newer modality of mine, a gift that I've been given to help people around limiting beliefs. And it is absolutely transformative when we can go back to those places in childhood where the roots of this, are, so that we can better understand why we're operating in the world, why we've been operating in the world like this. But the most important aspect then is to heal that. So I have several different modalities that I use with people that involves energy work, but also therapy. And I specialize as well in EMDR, which is a specific type of therapy that heals trauma. So all that to say that there are lots of different ways that you can address trauma. And it does not have to be a fearful process if you're with the right person, and they can actually lead you and guide you on a journey to wholeness and wellness. So I'm a mental health advocate, and I just believe that we all have the ability to heal. That's why I got into Reiki and why I got into therapy, because at the very beginning, selfishly, I was very, very hurt and lost and confused. And when I hit my bottom, that point in depression, when I'm telling you about, when I was feeling, having suicidal ideations and things and not understanding what my purpose was, that was the very time then that I got passionate about, okay, well, if I'm here, I need to know why, right? And that led me down my path to Reiki and becoming a therapist. So I'm absolutely 100% committed to the work that I do and to helping my clients. It's a reason why it's my purpose, period. So for me, I while it's been a lot of hard work, it's been worth it. And not only for me, but for my clients. So anyways, I'll just take a deep breath. That was a lot of information. And grab yourself a drink of water. Water is always a great carrier for messages, for meditations. It's why in intuitive work we talk about drinking a lot of water after you've done a meditation or anything, because it helps to carry the message to every part of your body and nourishes you on a physical level, because oftentimes we as humans are dehydrated, walking around, not getting enough water intake. Anyways, so for today, again, just real quickly, for those who don't know me well or haven't done my guided meditations, we do some breaths where I guide you through the breath work first so that we can drop into the moment. As I'm dropping in, I allow my guides to channel through me and to allow the message to come forward. So I invite you all now to just get relaxed wherever you're at. And let's just take a moment to consider what I said about the ego and about attachment, which brings us to the guided meditation today and the most important aspect of this, which is surrender. And I think it's important to understand ego and attachment, that they're needed to understand surrender, right? We need ego to be safe in this world. We need to attach in this world to understand relationships, both to our outside world and to our inner world. And when our ego doesn't feel safe, we don't feel safely attached in this world. So that's how all of that connects. And I will tell you that in surrender, in trust, I've learned so much in letting go of not needing to know the answers and things. So today I would like everyone to just go ahead, now that we're comfortable. And you don't have to shut your eyes. It's what I prefer to do, but whatever you're comfortable with. I'm going to just take a couple deep breaths. So we go in through the nose for a count of 4. We hold that breath in the belly for a count of 4. And then we slowly release for a count of 6. I like to place my hand on the belly so I can really make sure that I'm expanding. That's energy center. This is the center for our power. So breathing in again, holding, and you can bring it all the way up into the chest, and then releasing. We're going to bring that breath in again, focusing then not only on the stomach, but on your heart center. Breathing in. Expanded like a balloon now. And then slowly releasing. I want you to take 2 more of these deep breaths, breathing in. And then releasing. And on this last in breath, I want you to focus filling your entire body with oxygen. Get as much oxygen in as you can. Holding and releasing. Coming back into your natural breath. As we begin to allow the body to just relax, allowing the mind to become still, knowing that the mind is a very active place and that it's okay for you to have thoughts during meditation. Just allow those thoughts to travel somewhere, to go on a cloud or a wave, or you can put them somewhere safe in a container for later if they need to be reviewed. But for now, I just want you to stay in your breath. Coming fully present with your body. And I want you to really think about your ego now. A lot of people view the ego as something that is wrong. And it's the thinking mind, though. And again, it's the safe place of us. And I want you to honor your ego in this moment. And I want you to go into the heart and I want you to say thank you. Say thank you to the ego for keeping you safe, for giving you insight and power and abilities, as well as our protective side, which is another aspect of ourselves. I want you to just go into the heart space. I want you to give thanks to your shadow aspects or these protective sides of you that have kept you safe throughout your life. Knowing that we are going inwards to loving aspects of ourselves in every moment. And I want you to just, if you have feelings of guilt or shame, I want you to just love into those parts of yourself. If there's places in your life where you feel like you can't let go, relationships, addictive patterns, maybe it's your relationship to food, maybe you smoke cigarettes, just know that these things are serving as a protective measure for you. And rather than trying to push them or force them away, which will always create more of the same, it's about loving yourself in a different way, honoring that aspect and saying it's okay. It's okay for you to have needed what you've needed up until this point. And I want you to understand too that the world is operating in these states of ego and attachment. And as we are watching things, systems crumbling away that we have been told to attach to, that your ego, it's very okay for it to go into fear and anxiety and worry. It's also okay to be depressed at times, to see the state of the world and to feel that, sometimes we're not making improvements. Honor that place rather than trying to push it away. Feel what you need to feel in the moment, because it's only when we avoid or push away our emotions that we create more of that. And I want you to just imagine now that there's a beautiful red energy that's all around the base. If you're sitting, it's all around you where you're sitting. If you're lying down, it's all around where you're lying down. And this red energy is related to your root chakra. And I want you to just imagine that this red energy is surrounding you. It's creating a warmth beneath you. And it's helping you to build a new secure attachment in your world as it is, exactly as it is right now. So I want you to think about now the things that make you feel safe or secure in your world, the people, the places, the things. I want you to give love and gratitude to those things in this moment. And really, as you're focusing in on that, allow that energy to go down into this red energy. Just imagining it traveling down your legs and into that red energy. And it's just going to light up this red energy as you're doing that. Don't worry if your mind's eye can't see what I'm saying. Know that this is all about intention, and that when I'm doing the activation, these things are occurring on an energy level. And if the mind can't see it or the mind's eye, it's okay. You'll be able to feel the warmth. You'll be able to experience a sensation. Maybe it'll be during our time together. Maybe it'll be after this is over with. But you're going to notice a new sensation in the root, a new opening, a new place deep within your root chakra that sits just below the base of the spine, that connects to our root. If you think about your legs, how they are strong and they keep you rooted in. Think about how powerful your legs are. And I just want you to take a moment and place your hands on your legs. And I want you to just give some love to your legs. Give some love all the way down to your feet and just say thank you. Thank you for keeping me safe. And I want you to imagine that this red energy now that is opened up for you is going into the earth now. And it's becoming a beautiful light energy that's going down through Mother Earth. And you're just watching this red energy traveling down now, literally busting through old cords, attachments, old belief systems. The energy is creating a clearing for you. And it's going deep within your Earth star, which sits about 6 feet below the Earth's surface, all the way through that Earth star. And now it's traveling down into the core of Mother Earth. I want you to feel that warmth there, the warmth that she gives us, the guidance that Mother Earth provides us. And I want you to just begin to just be intentional, saying, I trust and I surrender. In your mind, I want you to think about those words as an affirmation. I trust, I surrender. And as you're thinking about that, there's going to be things that are going to come into your mind's eye about things that you're ready to let go of. You don't need to do anything but breathe, just intentionally knowing that those things are traveling from you, going down that cord, and that Mother Earth, literally at the very core, burns up anything that we no longer need, and that you don't have to do anything, that she wants to take this energy and create it for the higher good of our planet, for us, for everyone here who is inhabiting this planet. We call her Mother Earth because she is living. We live on a living planet. We have things on this planet that are extraordinary, and an ecosystem that's all about balance. And that's incredible. And you all are here right now because your soul chose to be. And I know, again, that oftentimes the ego gets into that fear and that anxiety, gets into anger, gets into pain, gets into rage. Know that those emotions are here and they're meant to help you. We have all of our emotions for a reason, and that we need to feel the lower emotions. We can't spend all of our time in higher emotions. That's not how we're built as humans. And so we live this life of duality between the heaven and the earth. We live heavens, or quantum, or however you think about the energy. But more is like we live this place of duality, right? And our ego plays this dance of duality. Again, trying to keep us safe. So now that we've opened up the energy to Mother Earth, and we have this place of security below, we're just going to allow her to bring up all of this beautiful energy from her core. And I want you to think about sitting on the earth or lying down on the earth. If you're unable to do so, it's fine right now. It's all about intention. I want you to imagine that it's a beautiful, gorgeous, perfect day, that the sun is shining, that you are just feeling the warmth of earth underneath you, and you feel all of that love coming up through your body as it comes back up through and into your sacral center and into your solar plexus. The sun, this vessel that carries both the sun's energy and the earth. I want you to think about that. And I want you to place a hand on the stomach and on your sacral centers. And I want you to imagine breathing new life. Breathing new life into these energies now. Letting go of all beliefs before that, anything around lack, that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy. I want you to really think about, I am worthy, I am enough. And we're going to take some deep breaths into your solar plexus now. We're going to just, you can say this out loud, or you can say it quietly in your mind's eye. But as you breathe in, saying, I am worthy. On the exhale, I am enough. I am worthy. I am enough. One more time, breathing in, I am worthy. And as you're doing this, you may experience emotions around your worthiness, around being enough. You may feel tearful, and that's okay. Just release. I am enough. Feel free to keep doing that breath for a moment. I want you to just sit with this, and I want you to think about those words. And again, any emotions or places within you where you've given away your worth, where you've not been feeling like you're enough in your relationships. Maybe it's in your work. Maybe it's as a parent. Maybe it's deep in that inner child where you're feeling this at. And if you're seeing a vision of yourself at an early age, I just want you to look at this individual with love and kindness and acceptance and tell them you are worthy, you are enough. We're going to come into the heart space now. Imagining a beautiful emerald green energy lighting up your heart space. We're going to think about the words, I am loved. I want you to feel into that. I want you to think about the people in your world who you feel love from and who you express love towards. Thinking about the words, I am loved. Now I want you to think about the words, it is safe to love. It is safe to love. It is safe to love. Working deep in that attachment, letting your inner children, letting your heart know that it is safe to trust. Now going to think about that affirmation. And these affirmations are for you to continue to use beyond our meditation today. It is safe to trust. It is safe to trust. It is safe to trust. Breathing in. My guides are just giving me one more for the heart space specifically. I am responsible for my energy and my boundaries. I am responsible for my energy and my boundaries. I am responsible for my energy and my boundaries. Taking a deep breath in and exhaling. Breathing in love. And imagining that green energy expanding out. Breathing in love. Exhaling more love and expanding your auric energy out. Breathing in love. And on this last out breath, you're going to expand your green heart energy into every part of your home or where you're at in this moment. Great job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Throughout your day, I want you to think about breathing this green energy and love into your space and into your life. We're going to take this heart energy now, and we're going to just go up through our throat chakras. I want you to pay special attention to your throat energy. Your throat is connected for women in the womb. Well, it's connected to our sacral. For men as well. I mean, we are connected in both. I want you to think about now this space in your throat, and I want you to think about those affirmations, and I want you to think about if they were a struggle. Again, not judging if they were a struggle, but why? Why was it difficult for you? Just being curious of the answer, not judgmental. I want you to be a curious, detached observer in this moment. Knowing that as you practice saying these affirmations and breathing into your heart energy, they will become more true for you. You can practice them in the mirror. You can practice them with your eyes closed and breathing into the heart. Starting with I am worthy. I am enough. This was the very first affirmation that I learned to use. The very core belief that I continue to honor and go into. It's the very thing that separates us from the divine, from Christ consciousness, from knowing that we truly can have everything that we desire, that we already have it, that we are already enough. That it's when our ego attached to the world that we lost this aspect. So we bring the ego into alignment and we attach it back to the soul, back to source energy. We integrate all of these energies back into our physical body. And this is how we experience alignment. So now we're going to focus on your third eye, and we're going to come into this place of knowingness for you and of intuition, of expansiveness, of creativity, that's also connected to the sacral. So much is connected to our sacral. The sacral is where life is created, life is birthed, not just in the womb, but if you think about our creative desires, this is the energy center. And so when we come up into the third eye, I want you to just really think about your forehead, and I want you to take a deep breath into your heart. Breathe up into the third eye now. And I want you to think about those words, or the words, I am creative. I am creative. I am creative. It is safe for me to explore my imagination. It is safe for me to explore my imagination. It is safe for me to explore my imagination. It is safe for me to be joyful and playful in life. It is safe for me to be joyful and playful in life. It is safe for me to be joyful and playful in life. Breathing in that safety all the way down into your root, if you're able to, and breathing all the way up through your third eye. But now you're going to imagine that there's a light and energy going out of the top of your head, opening up the crown chakra like a lotus flower. I want you to imagine this light energy that we've now had connected to Mother Earth is coming all the way through your physical vessel and is now able to go out into Earth's atmosphere and beyond as we travel out into higher states and connect in to your soul star. And as we connect in, we're going to travel out past the soul star, and we're going to connect into source energy, to the Christ consciousness. Your earth star and your soul star are those anchoring points for us. When we're talking about what I said earlier about the duality and how we play in these dualities, when we are anchored into our soul star and the source energy, into our earth star and into the core of Mother Earth, we are fully aligned in our energy. We've opened up this portal of energy today. And this is the portal of energy for you to practice and go into every day, for you to get stronger in, so that you can develop your own sovereignty, your own alignment, and your own embodiment of all of your highest good. So I want you to just think about your intuition. I want you to think about your higher self, your own Holy Spirit, your inner guide that journeys with God, Christ energy. I use numerous names because different egos attach to different words. And again, whatever your ego attaches to or what feels safe for you, that is perfect and divine. Know that it's all about just connecting into the energetics of source energy. So from source energy now, I want you to see that there's a beautiful, beautiful light coming back down from source energy. This light is pure, divine, white light. It's traveling down, going through your soul star, and it's connecting in to your higher self, to your intuition, to your guiding point in life. If we think about our higher self as one aspect of the ego, and our ego protector is the other aspect. Again, they both play a very important role. And so now I want you to consider these energies. There's, however they resonate with you, again, there might be a physical form in front of you. There might be just an energy light body in front of you, but I want you to envision currently how you view your ego, your protector energy, and your higher self. And I want you to see the three of them standing in front of you now. I want you to feel the love that all of them carry for you. I want you to feel that protective energy and for the guidance that you've been given throughout your life. And I want you to just give them love straight from your heart, that green source energy that we were activating. I want you to send that green heart energy to them, saying thank you and I love you to them as you feel that coming back to you. And what I want you to imagine now is those three beautiful energies that are in front of you. They're becoming one ball of energy, one perfect sphere of divine energy. And this energy for you is going to be the color of the chakra. And it's going to be known to you that you are most being called to work in right now. If the color doesn't look familiar to you, they're telling me you might be activating a newer self-awareness, a deeper level. Just trust that it's perfect. And this ball of energy is now just coming up above the top of your head to your crown chakra. And your crown is just opening up and is allowing this ball of energy to just dissolve into your auric field. It's melding in with all aspects of your being, physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional. Take your time and take some breaths with this, allowing the integration to happen and the activation to occur. Allowing that energy to come all the way back through now. I want you to see that your energy is now protected in a perfect sphere of this color, that this is a new shielding of divine protection that is going to help you to operate in the world. As you breathe, you increase the energy. Your breath literally carries life in it. That's why the breath is so important. Just like the water that you drink carries life in it. Bless your water. Bless your breath. Bless the oxygen around you and allow it to be carried through the body. And now I want you to envision that your energy is coming back into the physical body now, fully coming back in. I want you to imagine that you're coming back into this body of yours, giving it any love that it needs. Giving it gratitude. Giving every bone in your body, every muscle, every joint, giving your lungs, your digestive systems, your heart, your circulatory systems, your brain, your thinking, your mental aspects, giving all of it divine love. Breathing in that love and breathing out. And when you're ready, I want you to go ahead and open your eyes. And as you come back, you may experience again some tingling sensation. You may have some lightheadedness. Again, drinking water will help to activate, but also integrate these energies. You can also get a grounding stone, like I'll show you. Some black tourmaline. So this will help ground your energies. You can just hold it and think about going back into Mother Earth, breathing in. And again, I just invite you as you close out the meditation today to be mindful of your ego. Be mindful of the areas that you're attaching in. Be mindful of how you're attaching in the world without judgment. Go into this place of curiosity and ask yourself why. Ask yourself what you're needing to learn in the moment. Ask yourself if maybe it's just that you need to be still and honor your own physical body. But whatever questions become present for you, what way are you experiencing joy in this world? Play, creativity. Are you holding back? Are you allowing yourself to fully be everything that you're meant to be? Just taking a couple more deep breaths. And for anyone who has been here live with me, please, I encourage feedback. For anyone who is watching the recording, please feel free to reach out to me with any questions. Feel free to reach out to me if you're interested in working with me further. And I just want to give you all thanks for being here today. May you be blessed in love and peace.